Determining the value of an unknown variable by using backtracking. The first piece of terminology we need to look at is inverse operations. Now, inverse actually means opposite. In terms of maths, we're talking about the inverse of addition being subtraction and the inverse of multiplying being dividing. And it actually goes the other way. So the inverse of subtraction is addition and the inverse of dividing is multiplying. So we're going to solve this equation for a using backtracking. So I have 5a plus 3 equals 23. Now in my backtracking, I start with the unknown variable, so the thing I'm trying to solve, so a. And in the last box, I have the answer. So I know this expression here equals 23. So I have a multiplied by 5. So a is multiplied by 5. Now I don't know what this box here will equal yet because I don't know what a is, but I do know that I have a multiplied by 5 plus 3, and that equals 23. And now I'm going to complete the inverse operations. So the opposite of adding 3 is subtracting 3. So 23 subtract 3 will be 20. And instead of multiplying by 5, because I'm backtracking, it will be divided by 5. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. Therefore, a equals 4. And I can check my answer by going back to my original. If I know that a is 4, 5a means 5 multiplied by 4 plus 3. So 5 multiplied by 4 is 20 plus 3 is 23. So using backtracking again for this equation, I have a is multiplied by 4, so that's what I'm going to start with. So it's multiplied by 4, and then 5 is added to it. And then those two things are multiplied by 3 outside of the brackets, and that equals 39. To backtrack, we do the first step, which will be 39 divided by 3, because that's the inverse of multiplying by 3. So 39 divided by 3 is 13. The inverse of adding 5 is subtracting 5. So we will subtract 5 from 13, which will be 8. And the inverse of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. So a equals 2. And once again, we will check that we have the correct answer. So looking back up the top here, if a equals 2, we have 4 multiplied by 2, which is 8, plus 5 is 13. So inside the brackets is 13. 13 multiplied by 3 is 39, so I know my answer is correct. That's the beauty of algebra. I have checked and I know that the answer is definitely a equals 2. For one final example, we have 3a, so a is multiplied by 3. So a multiplied by 3, 16 is subtracted from that, and then it is divided by 5, and this equals 4. So divided by 5. So we will backtrack. So the inverse of dividing by 5 is multiplying by 5. So 4 multiplied by 5 is 20. The inverse of subtracting 16 is adding 16. So we will add 16, so that's 36. And the inverse of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. So we will divide by 3. So 36 divided by 3 is 12. So a equals 12. And again, we can check that. We go up to our original equation. So if a equals 12, we have 3 multiplied by 12, which is 36, minus 16, which is 20, divided by 5, which equals 4. So again, we know our answer is correct.